Hey, what's going on, guys? Today, we're going to be doing a way too early 2023 NFL mock draft. I'm excited to do this one. I want to get right into it. Start off, I just want to give a quick rundown of this class. CJ Stroud is my quarterback one. Bryce Young is my quarterback two. Now, even though Bryce Young won the Heisman, he is 5'11", 180. Meanwhile, CJ Stroud, I think, is 6'2", 210. More of a complete quarterback. Probably has a better arm, and I know that Alabama plays in like a quick throw system. I think that Jackson Smith-Njgiba is 100% quarterback one, and receiver two is Keyshawn Butte, excuse me. And I think that offensive lineman one, I don't really know. It's kind of a toss-up. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Osiris Torrance is probably guard one. I think almost consensus. Connor Gavin out of Baylor is getting up there. Brian Robinson Jr. is my receiver one. Jordan Addison, I think, just transferred to USC, I'm pretty sure. And Spencer Rattler, do not view him as a first-round pick at all. On the defensive side. Will Anderson. Will Anderson's probably one of the most complete edge rushers I've almost ever seen. He reminds me so much of Jadeveon Clowney as that not only incredible run stopper, but also he had 17.5 sacks last year. Now, he did play out at Alabama. Will Anderson's a monster. He's truly the best. I think he's the best player in this entire class. Then Jalen Carter out of Georgia. Georgia just produces defensive tackle nowadays. And he actually played more snaps last year, I'm pretty sure, than Jordan Davis. And Jalen Carter is almost a complete defensive tackle as well. Nolan Smith out of Georgia. Georgia's defense is so good. And him off the edge next to, I think he was right next to Trayvon Walker. And I think he had better production. Also another Georgia player, Kelly Ringo. I think that's how you pronounce the name. He had the game-winning pick 6 in the national championship. Malachi Moore, probably the best slot safety hybrid in this class. Noah Sewell, probably the best linebacker, I would say. Miles Murphy out of Clemson, falling down boards a little bit due to Clemson not really being good. Eli Ricks was a transfer. I think he was a transfer from Auburn. I forgot, but he transferred to Alabama. Jordan Battle is coming back for his senior year. Same thing with Henry 202. Next up, probably Tyler Davis, B.J. Ojulari, Tyke Smith. I think this is going to be a really good defensive class. And I think this is kind of a weaker offensive class, but it is way better stacked at receiver. I think this could be another weak quarterback class. But as we get that rundown, let's get into the draft. Now, the Texans are 1, Falcons 2, Lions 3, Jets 4, Jags 5. I don't think the Jets will be that high, and I think the Jags might even have the first overall pick again. But getting into this, I think the Houston Texans they would say, where are the Houston Texans? They say edge, offensive tackle, tight end, receiver, all that good stuff. Personally, I think Will Anderson is the best player in this class. I truly believe that he should go 1. I think he has that Kayvon Thibodeau type of, not moxie, but like, he's up there. I think he also has Chase Young kind of like hype around him right now. And I think he's the best defensive player. I mean, also another thing. He wasn't even in the top voting for the Heisman, and he was way better than Aiden Hutchinson last year. All right, Falcons up. I think that they can go quarterback. They might go quarterback, but they also just drafted Desmond Ridder. I think this could be. It's too early to go receiver. I would go with Jalen Carter. I don't think that quarterback's going to go too high. Or I think they will go high, but I don't think these will be the first 2 picks. Anyways, the Lions at 3, I'm going to go with CJ Stroud. That is my best quarterback. And at 4 with the Jets, this is probably, let's see what they think. I think personally it is not receiver, probably offensive tackle if George Fant doesn't come back, but I do not see them at 4. So we're going to go with the Northwestern tackle. I know he's really good. Peter Skoronski. The last name screws me up, but I know he's good because I've seen him when I was watching Rashawn Slater. last year. I was watching him play, and he was pretty solid there. 5 with Jaguars. This is probably best edge, maybe again. They have quite a lot of meat. I think that cornerback's also in play. But I don't know if any of these quarterbacks probably go at 5. Oh, I'm gonna take Jackson Smith-Njgiba. I think he's the best receiver by far, and I think that the Jags could go receiver if they get rid of one of their guys. I mean, they signed they signed like Zay Jones. No, well, I know this is Christian Kirk, and it was someone else, number 70 on the Raiders. Anyways, 6 Panthers quarterback, por favor. This is gonna be Bryce Young. Giants, probably the best offensive lineman available, and I would say linebacker, cornerback. It depends if Bradbury's gone, because if Bradbury is gone, then I would go with probably Noah Sewell, even though that might be a little too high for him right now. But I would go, to be honest, I think they should go with best guard. I would go with Osiris Torrance. Bears, best receiver available. This is going to be Keyshawn Butte. Seahawks, best quarterback available, and they should not take any of those guys. So we would probably go with their second biggest need, linebacker, cornerback. I think this is a good time for someone like Ringo if he has such an amazing year at Georgia. He can go as high as 9. Commanders, probably linebacker secondary. I mean, they just went with Jahan Dotson, so receiver is no longer a need for them. And they would say that the Commanders go with QB, safety, linebacker, tight end. I do not think Michael Mayer will go as high as 7, even though they have him 7th ranked. Probably, I would go with Henry Sewell or Henry Tuiota, but I think that Sewell is the better linebacker right now. We'll see how the season goes. Steelers, best, probably offensive lineman available. Looking at that, it could be Connor Gavin out of Baylor, and I think I would go with him. They once again did not pick offensive tackle in the draft. Eagles have back-to-back. This is their own pick and the Saints pick, so they probably should go with the best edge. I know they didn't get one. Gonna go with Noah Smith out of Georgia, and then with their next pick, probably gonna end up going with best linebacker or safety or I think I'm gonna go with corner. We're gonna go with Malachi Moore. Also could be a safety. Patriots, best. They never take receiver though, but I think they should. I think they should. Jordan Addison, really like him out of Pittsburgh. I think he's going to USC now, even though he did win the Biletnikoff. 15 with the Raiders. They could go with. I think they should go with offensive lineman. I'm gonna go with Emi Akior Jr. I do not know how to pronounce him, but I know that he's really good out of Alabama. Because I saw him in the run game a lot when I was looking at Brian Robinson. Yeah, Brian Robinson Jr. Dolphins. This is probably linebacker, offensive tackle, or no, they don't need tight end. This is probably best offensive tackle available. I'm not high on. Well, they did get Liam Eichenberg. They have, I think, man, I'm starting to think of linebacker now. Henry Tuiota. Mind you, that none of this is like set in stone. This is once again a way too early mock draft. Tennessee Titans gonna go with probably the best. They could go with maybe an offensive lineman. I think linebacker is still a need, and they also agree with me. Justin Flower, Trent Simpson. I don't know if any of those guys are going to go that far ahead. They also kind of do need tight end, but I don't want to go with tight end. You know, I think I'll take Michael Mayer. You got Malik Willis you still have Malik Willis. You want to build around him, go with a really big tight end, Michael Mayer, who I think will go in the first round if he doesn't slip a little bit. The Colts. I think it could be quarterback, even though offensive line is still a massive need. I think quarterback could be in play for the Colts if they win a few playoff games and they get down the board and they want like Spencer Rattler. But I'm going to go with Paris Chris Johnson Jr. or Duard Jones, both Ohio State guys, both guys that I like. But for the Colts, they already went with Bernard Raymond, so I'm going to go with the guard. The Vikings at 19, looking at probably, yeah, I think we're going to go with best defensive tackle available. Probably, I'm gonna be honest, I think that Brian Brees does go in the first round. I don't know why he's slipping so much. Probably Tyler Davis. I would go with Tyler Davis at 19. Cardinals, I think they still need a cornerback, so we're going to go with Eli Ricks. Ravens, I think their secondary is fine. I think their offensive line still has a question mark on top of it. And, oh, yeah, I forgot. I forgot that they traded Hollywood Brown, so receivers in need. Man, I think Marvin Mims could go pretty high. I think he's a later first round, but I'm going to go with Quentin Johnston. With the Bengals, I think there's offensive line still a question mark, but I think that cornerback is way bigger of a need. We're going to go with probably Carl Phillips. I like Carl Phillips out of Utah. And the Texans back up. This is a Cleveland pick. And we already went with Will Anderson at 1. So with the Texans, probably going to go with probably tackle. I think that their right tackle still is a question mark. We're going to go with DeWan Jones. Cowboys. Edge rusher. Probably edge rusher. Well, I don't think receivers is big as a need, but they're probably going to mess this pick up anyways. But I would go with Miles Murphy. I still think that edge is a need for them. They kind of ignored it in the draft. Chargers, probably the best offensive tackle available. I still want them to have something around. I know they picked Zion Johnson, but I don't think he's going to swing out to tackle. They could. They kind of need run defense as well. And would you want to go with guys like Kalaji Johnson, or you want like? I think their cornerbacks are set. I think their secondary is fine. I don't think that safety is their biggest need. And I like who was the safety next to Derwin James? I forgot. I think their secondary is fine. I do think that they really need to bolster that run defense though. With Seattle at 26, I think that quarterback. If I didn't go with Ringo. So I still think that quarterback has to be a need in this pick. If they don't get a top pick, which I think they'll do, I think that they should look at quarterback. Anthony Richardson's a question mark at Florida. I know he didn't do that great. Spencer Rattler's always a question mark now. And then Jaron Hall's pretty good, but he's also from BYU. Could have a good year. I think Grayson McCall is also like in the same place of Jaron Hall, where they both play at like low division schools, but I do think that they're gonna go quarterback, and I think Spencer Rattler is not the quarterback I'm looking for, so I'm gonna take a risk on Grayson McCall. I think that he might have a Zach Wilson kind of year. I know he's a sophomore, true sophomore. He started as a true freshman, so I think that he potentially could be a late round, mid round quarterback if he has a really good year. Dolphins back up. I went with Tuiotu, my last pick. Probably gonna address center now, or center or guard. So I would go with. Probably gonna go with. I don't know about center. Center, like this year, center was way better. Their next year in 2023, which is the mock draft I'm doing, center is a little bit more shaky. They could also address tight end, or they could go with safety. I kind of like them going safety a little bit more right here. Jordan Battle is my best safety. He's a hard hitter, really good against the run. The Packers at 28. They say receiver. I kind of agree. I think I'm going to go with Marvin Mims. You always want to help Aaron Rodgers and even Jordan Love, who I think they're going to decline their fifth-year option next year. Don't see him on the team much longer. I had C.J. Stroud going to the Lions at 3. 29. Let's go with, they say linebacker, receiver. I don't think receiver is an immediate need. So I would probably go with either linebacker, or they could go with safety. I don't think they took a safety in this. Well, they already got their edge. They didn't get linebacker. They really need safety. So I like them going with Brandon Joseph, actually. I think I would go with Brandon Joseph in this spot. if he was available. I think that Brandon Joseph and Jordan Battle have a chance to actually go top 20. I like this safety class a lot. Like, I like Tariq Smith. I like Catalan a lot. I think that he could possibly go in the first round as well. Chiefs, they went with Sky Moore. I still think they need a receiver. Oh, man, they're in a tough situation with they're in a tough situation now. They could either go offensive tackle, they can go receiver, but they really don't have receivers, so I'm gonna have to pick Ronnie Bell. If they don't have they don't have another first round. Tampa Bay, I know they have Kyle Trask, but I kinda want them to take quarterback. And I think Jaron Hall out of BYU could be Zach Wilson 2.0. Don't think so. I think he could be good if BYU. I think they're a top ranked team. If they make it into the top 10, like ranked, and they win a bunch of games, and Jaron Hall looks clean, I think he could sneak into the first round above Spencer Rattler. And then the Bills. Oh, they could. I think linebacker. I think linebacker and receiver are my biggest needs. They say tight end. I see receiver, but I don't want to go with another receiver. I think that we need to really see how this class works out, because I don't know how strong it will be other than Jackson Smith-Njgiba. So at 32, man, I know they're going to lose a few of their defensive tackles next year, so I am going to go with Brian Brees. I think he can slip it into the first round. So that was my way too early mock draft for 2023. Make sure you let me know your thoughts about the mock draft. Let me know some of your favorite prospects next year. Let me know where your team's going to finish up next year, because I know that some of those some orders will be wrong. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.